What is up, guys? What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Broken Biscotti. To part one, really, of improving motorcycle skills, really, that I'd like to run. And the first thing we are going to talk about that I feel a lot of riders don't really think about is this little handle here. It is the most important handle, it's the most important tool that we have, and it is called our brakes. Now, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people who ride motorcycles, we always focus on stuff like getting our knee down, really getting into the corner, and really, really looking good while we're riding. And to be honest, that's not a bad idea. But first up, guys, let's just focus on the basics, and the basics of braking. So a lot of the times people ride motorcycles, and this is including myself, and we don't actually know the full limit or the maximum that our bike can actually brake at. Now, if you can afford a track day, which I cannot, unfortunately, because I'm on the cheaper side and money is a bit tight, we have to find other ways to find the limits of our braking. Now, why is it useful to know the limits of your braking? Well, put simply, you don't know what your bike can brake to, and you certainly won't know how to apply the maximum amount of brakes on your motorcycle if you don't ever train for it. So with that being said, let's do some simple things. So firstly, when you're going to grab the brakes, the most important thing is never to snatch the brakes. It's all about smoothly operating the brake. Something like, and that is smoothly applying the brake. I should have probably geared down as I'm doing that, but the whole idea is you grab the brakes and progressively add more tension to it. If you were just to grab the brakes and just pull it really hard, the only thing that's going to happen is your front wheel will reach its maximum braking capacity and your front will pretty much slide out. And that's what you see a lot of the times of new riders, is they'll be riding, they'll go to grab the brakes, and what they do is, by grabbing the brakes so hard, is the front skids and you're off. Now, if you have ABS, that obviously helps you greatly. Now, if you're like my bike and a bit older, it doesn't really have ABS, but it is a fantastic skill to have because it allows you as a rider to really get on the brakes and really feel that. Now, we are going to be a bit scientific. So the first thing I want you guys to do is find a lovely car park like this, and as you can see, it is quite clear and it's nice and easy. Find an abandoned car park, please, because it is sort of the best place to train. You can't really hurt yourself. It'd be nice to find some place where people aren't going to kick you out, and if you've got a loud exhaust, you probably will be. But I digress. Let's just focus on what we're going to do. So something simple I like to do is go 20 k's, and then I'll start to brake, and I'll set you can set some markers and some reference points for yourselves if you want to sort of improve it. But initially, all I want you guys to start doing is grabbing that brake quickly but progressively adding the squeeze. So let me just show you what it is. Now, this is just me. I just want to, before I set off, this is obviously just me, what I've learned and what people have been telling me to do. I am in no way an expert, so me training to do this is actually teaching you guys, which is great, but I myself am also learning how to control this braking, so by no means am I an expert at this. So I like to go pretty much around 20-25. Let's go 30, and on the brakes, and that's it. And I'll keep doing this a little bit until I start to get and feel a bit more comfortable. Perfect. Now, what I might start to do to myself is I will start to make I'll start to make reference points for myself as well. And doing this as well also gives me and helps me improve my clutch control quite significantly as well, because I'm learning to slip the clutch so that I can maintain my acceleration. Now, see that? Nearly dropped it. So let's get a little scientific. So I'm going to start to, essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and go at 30 kilometers per hour, and I'm going to start to brake when I hit one of these bars. And then I'm just going to count how many parking spaces I have gone to. So that's 3 parking spots, not too bad. Let's do it again. I'm not sure what the speed I was going there, but let's go try and maintain 30. 30. Oh. Alright, that wasn't as good as I thought. Now I have got that down to 2.5 sort of parking lot, but at the end I feel my body, I wasn't bracing my body to the bike, and you can sort of see that motion where I sort of, the inputs was on my steering bar, on my handle, sorry. So yeah, always remember to keep your body nice and loose. Wasn't the best, but the idea of this is to stay smooth and be able to stop progressively. Now in an emergency, it's obviously, you know, as long as you avoid hitting something, it's fine. If you drop the bike, it's not too much of an issue. 30. Much better. And look at that. 3, 2.5, 1, 1.5. So we're getting better. We're getting better. Maybe I did brake possibly a tiny bit early. I'm just using my peripherals as a point for when I turn the bike, when I brake the bike. So it's the perfect spot right here. So we're going to get to 30. And repeat. So hopefully, as we keep doing this, you can, I don't know if you guys can see, but we're starting to really start to get that the front wheel down and starting to really squeeze the brake a bit quicker. And pretty much, guys, what you're going to keep doing is you're going to keep doing this till you're comfortable with, you know, you're going to realize how much brakes your bike actually has. So I let that out for a bit longer, which is a-okay. And for me, it's a good, it makes me realize how much brakes, how much braking force this bike actually has before it's topping out. Tap a little bit on the brakes, and look at that. Beautiful. You get more comfortable. The more you do this, guys, the more comfortable you get. And let me get this in neutral so I can have a bit of a chat. Maybe it's not going to work. Let's try it the other way. Yeah, neutral it is. Alright, guys, so the more times we do this, the better you get. Later on, what I would like to do, obviously, and I don't really have any chalk or any cones, but if you've got a cone, you set that cone as your braking point, and you just keep practicing this until you get more comfortable with how the bike feels when braking. Now, the key points about this is obviously when you're going to grab your brakes, do not grab them. You have to sort of hold them and progressively add the squeezing force. Now, at some point in time, as you're squeezing, you may feel your back wheel get a bit light. That's not a problem. Just stay calm. Try and keep your hands nice and loose. Try and keep your shoulders and your body loose. I can't explain to you the more straighter your hands and legs are, the more straighter and more straighter your arms are, the more input and the more the bike shakes. So the looser your hands are, it'll stop your front wheel from sort of moving around as well. So if we keep practicing that, and I'm going to keep continuing this, you guys can watch me if you want. I'll have the full version out so you guys can see me do this for the next 25 minutes if you feel like. But other than that, guys, braking, it's the most important thing that we do. It's a thing that is going to save you 90% of the time when you brake, and it's always good to know how to grab your brakes as quickly and as effectively as possible. Now, once we do this, there are more advanced techniques that we will go into, but for the start, guys, and for the first video, let's just focus on getting our brakes up to spec. So with that being said, guys, if you guys get a chance, go out there, find a car park, find an abandoned place, make sure that the tarmac is fairly consistent, and let's practice our braking. And with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like what I'm doing, hit a like, subscribe, put a comment below whether you think it's a good idea what I'm doing. You can get a lot of this information on courses, but it's always great to see, and it really helps me feel better about myself. And as well, the more you guys do with me, the more I'm going to start to learn as well. So with that, thank you again, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Enjoy. Bye bye.